Hello, lovers, fighters, and LL Smoothbody fans. It's your boy, LL Smooth to the BODY. We are back. It's about to be break time for your boy, so break me off a piece of that little Doop. Little Doop, say what up to the people.
What's going on, gang? How are we today?
Can I just say that was a hell of a introduction by myself? Um, we've missed you guys. It's been a while. What's it been? 2.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Uh, I think it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, because I know our last podcast was around um, Halloween because we did the Halloween pod. Lil Doop, I'm gonna actually start the pod off with smooth body beefs. You ready? You ready to go? Somebody's got
I'm
beef
ready.
with you in the smooth body world.
Someone has
Uh,
beef with me.
Big beef with you. Big
Hmm.
big beef with you.
All right.
Coach is calling you out. Coach is calling you out big time. You want to know what coach is thinking about? What coach is mad about? You ready?
I'm kind of nervous for this now. What's going on?
Coach is really pissed because you know how you talked about how with your arms you go like this and you get all the water off, and then you go like this and you get all the water off, and
Yeah,
you do
you,
it with your
you
legs
squeegee
too.
yourself.
Squeeze yourself. Bullshit. He's calling it bullshit. I'm also calling it bullshit. I've tried it. It did nothing. It might have gotten me more wet because my hands were wet. I might have been adding water to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of body you got, but you ain't no sponge. And I ain't no scrubs. Hashtag TLC.
Well, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not going in there like this and like grip. It's just a.
That does not do anything. There's no.
When you go like this in the shower to get the water out of your hair, it does something. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but you're talking about your body
You
parts.
go like this.
No, it's bullshit.
All
It's
right.
been tested. Smooth Bodians. If you nice, we got a name for you guys now. If you guys are listening, I want you to try the squeegee and tell me if it actually is effective. Because for me, it wasn't. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I need a tutorial.
Well, it's not like you're taking a lot of water off. It's just to get like give
There's
you a
no,
little
there
start.
was no water coming off.
It's so you don't come out of the shower dripping wet.
It was like ancient Egypt in the dry season.
All right,
Wait,
whatever.
that would be.
They had the Nile River in ancient Egypt, so I don't know what you're talking about. Get fucked. You're pissed.
Nile was just a product, the environment. All right. So me and Lil Doop were, so kind of introduced this concept. I've been on a couple of phone call interviews for jobs. I know Lil Doop's done a bunch of interviews, and there's definitely a formula there. You know what I mean? Like, oh, name a time when you needed to succeed and how you overcame, blah 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 blah. So in that spirit, or influenced by that, we wanted to do our own little mock interviews with our own questions. Lil Doop's got some questions for me. I got some questions for Lil Doop, and we got to answer them if we were in an interview and we heard that to the best of our abilities. So, Lil Doop, I think you're asking the questions first. What job did I apply for here?
Oh, I have no idea. Was I
Sales
supposed to do
can.
that?
No, that's off the nog
Okay.
from your boy to the
Yeah,
BODY.
no idea.
How about color manager? I just gotta take markers and draw inside the lines.
Something like that, yeah. I actually have a copy of your resume right here.
You're an
Um,
ass. I literally asked you for one and you did not swing.
um,
Now it's
and I
getting
have all my
hot.
questions written down right here too. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Wait, let me get into let me get ready. All right, professional Sam. Professional Smooth. Here we go.
All right, Smooth Body. Thank you for joining me on this meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm really excited to have you here. I'm just going to ask you, a couple basic questions, and then at the end of the interview, we'll see if you have any questions. If there's enough time, maybe I'll be able to answer some. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great.
Has this process been explained to you before, like exactly what I just said? It's very simple, super mundane.
Yes. No, I got it.
Okay, just make sure that you answer the questions to the best of your ability, and I'll give you a little inside help. Try and tell me as much as you can about you and your experience and how you think that that's going to be able to shape yourself into being a good mold for this position. Okay.
Yep. Awesome. Ready to go.
Okay. So question number one, I see here that you on your resume, I see that you worked in the adult film industry at a surprisingly young age. So how do you think that your knowledge of anal sphincters will contribute to the growing arguments surrounding executive compensation?
Yeah, no, honestly, great question right off the bat. If you're going to give me like just a couple seconds to think about my answer, that'd be great. Okay, yeah. So obviously starting the porn industry at 12 years old, I have a lot of experience with anuses, what they mean, how they function, what they do. And the interesting thing about anuses is they really are snowflakes, right? So you have to kind of adapt overall to all the different anuses. You know, one anus isn't like the other, right?
Hmm.
So that shows right there that I'm an adaptable person. Now, also the other thing that's fun about anuses is they're a whole. So, you know, I know how to take charge. You know, I know how to go for what I want. Focus on what I need. Now, as that relates to uh what compensation was it again?
Executive compensation. Let's try and
Executive
listen a
comp
little bit closer.
as that relates to executive compensation, I think that our executives actually have to be adaptable, like I was when I saw my first anus at 6 years old. You know what I mean? You have to be able to bend around that. What that means is what's best for the company, just what was best for the anus, whether it was lube, whether it was like a little thing you put in there, is
Mhm.
is going to be best for you overall, right? Because the more success you have as a company, you know, the more you ultimately get paid in the long run. And I think that's what our executives should look for in the long run is the well-being of the company and the well-being of themselves.
It's a it's a good answer. I haven't heard some of that before, and I really appreciated, your willingness to adapt. And I think that's something that, a lot of employers are looking for, and especially in such a competitive industry and a competitive market. Like it's really important to have someone that's able to stay on top of their stuff, but also take things as they come at them. So that's great. My next question is, so having zero experience in the medical field, do you really think that fooling around with other staff members violates any sort of ethical or moral code?
Yeah, no, actually, here at Penn State, I am part of kind of an ethical union of students. It's called the US. And we definitely look at different things in the workplace and, you know, how to analyze them and ultimately what is the right moral decision to make in all different scenarios. So the first thing you got to understand is you got to take each incident by itself, right? Now, you know, if it's an inappropriate workplace relationship, you know, that's bad. If it affects the company, that's bad. If it affects anyone else involved in a negative way, that's bad. Now, two responsible adults that can keep it professional, but also can have a different type of relationship in the workplace actually morally would be inept not to go actually do it, which is my take. You know, I've had a lot of discussions because I think, you know, women definitely have a different view on this issue, and they actually tend to agree with that. And furthermore, I just think, you know, Love is Blind, season 4.
Wow, it's an interesting take, and I really do. I appreciate the honesty, um, and it's great because I'm learning more about you and yourself as a person through these answers. So that's really great. Um, so something we were talking about a little bit before the interview, you brought up ancient civilizations such as Egypt and that sort of thing. So
Mhm.
moving forward with my third question, ancient civilizations depended on a culture of hard collective work and a common goal, right? So do you think that there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Wow. Um, I'm actually taking a Roman civilization class, and I actually think you know, my interest and project on Julius Caesar can help answer this. Now, it's an interesting construct, right? Caesar once said, I have to cross that thing where you can't come back. Fuck. Probably shouldn't say fuck during an interview.
No.
This is where I melt down. Sorry. Fuck. You know, doors is the wrong answer. And here's why. How many doors? Wait, do bowls count as wheels?
Bowls?
Yeah, because you can wheel them.
We might be moving on to the next question here.
Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not going to get this job.
Anyway, my fourth and final question before I open up the floor for like any type of discussions and, any questions that you may have. I'm going to just spit it out here. You ready?
Yeah.
Martial law requires you to wear a belt indoors at all times. What is it like for yourself to carry yourself with the confidence of a much better looking man?
Well, confidence is key. If my parents gave me anything, it's confidence. No matter, how unstraight my teeth are, or how much acne I have, or how much of a pot belly I have. The one thing I have over everyone else is I think I look good. A much better looking man, with no confidence looks like the person with no confidence. A guy like me can pull, some chicks just with the smile, the charm, and the ability to say, hey, and that's it. You know why? Because women love the strong, silent type. Tony Soprano, the Hulk, Megan the Stallion, Reese Witherspoon. What do they all have in common? They come to the point where flexibility meets ingenuity to make ingebility. And that ingebility strives and is the very essence of confidence as a man and a worker who in turn.
Anyway, so one last quick question before, you keep saying more words. Can you spell possum?
POSSU.
Thank you for your time.
That went atrociously.
Yeah, I think you could have done a lot better. We're out of the interview now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You could have done better. Just thinking on your toes. I think you did a pretty horrid job at some of those questions. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's why I'm here. I'm here as your friend because I'm supposed to be telling you the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is that you did okay with some of those questions and you didn't let most of them, take you for a ride, and you weren't lost in La La Land for the most part. And you were able to, carry yourself pretty well. And despite the fact that I asked some weird, ill-formed questions, you were able to, for the most part, like 2 out of 4 times, give me an answer. Even if you were wrong, like the doors thing, you were able to give me an answer.
Do you know what threw me off? It wasn't the first question. It was the second question because it was such a normal question. I was like, this isn't fun anymore. Forget what it was, but it was just like the most normal question in the entire world.
It was something about fooling around with other staff members or something like
Yeah,
that.
this is just the worst type of thing ever. That sucked.
I put you on the spot. I'm ready.
I think I dislike you more now. And I'm gonna want another shot at some point. Guy, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Sam. Are you there?
I am. I'm here.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah. really excited about your interest in the camcorder holder for the pornography that we're shooting today. This job doesn't pay a lot, but it's really rewarding. Some of the benefits include, when they jizz, you get to get a bucket and, take some of it home with you, which is nice. Oh, wow, taking notes. It's very nice. And so on and so forth. That's kind of your pay for the week. So here we go. Do you kind of understand how this format works? I'm sure
Yeah,
you've
I'm
been
really
interviewed.
excited.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I take notes? I'm sorry.
No, that's great. No, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Where'd the wild things go?
Great book. I used to love that book growing up. If that book taught me anything about life, your fingers covering the camera screen. If that book taught me anything about life, it's that the wild things can go anywhere. It's not about necessarily where they are, but where they want to be. And I think that that's something that I'm going to be able to bring to the table as the videographer for your pornography. Is that I may not be what most people see as an integral part of the process, but it's something that I'm willing to work at and something that I want to do better at and understand the process, just so I'm able to further the production value of whatever film we may be shooting, whether it be Jizz on Me 2, a sequel to Jizz on Me 1, or, other, like Sexy Warriors. Maybe there's a sequel that comes out and you need me for it. I'm your guy. So I think that to answer your question, the wild things are where you want them to be.
But where'd they go?
Again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
But where did they go?
They went somewhere so they could know where to go in the future. You have to be able to make a mistake. And I think that one of the greatest teaching tools is failure. And that's probably what they were doing. They went back, they failed. But the thing that is most important about that is that they recognized the failure and took it as an opportunity to combat that exact type of failure in the future. That is where they went. And it's going to lead them forward to show them where to go. Thank you.
Okay. Tell me a time when you struggled. In particular, how did you overcome not being friends with LLSmoothBody in 8th grade?
I mean, like I said for your last question, struggle is something that a lot of people need to go through in order to become a better person, right? Failure is something that makes you a better person too, right? I learned quickly after I said that LLSmoothBody and I weren't friends until like 8th grade, that was a mistake. And it's something that's been biting me in the ass since I was about 14 years old. It's been like 6, 7 years since I said that, and you still won't let it go. So it's something that I've been able to turn into a positive note, something that I have kept with me and made sure that I'm not going to say anything like that, because you're hypersensitive in certain areas. You know what I mean? So I don't want to say anything that might offend you or that you'll carry with you for the next 6, 7 years of your life, and probably beyond that too, because I'm never going to hear the end of it. And it was taken out of context. And again, that's something that I am able to learn from. And that's something that I hope to be able to do, working for you.
All right. This is more of kind of a scenario-based question.
Okay.
Have you heard any of these or familiar with any of these? Or?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the windows in New York City and that sort of thing.
Okay. Okay, so you have the splats during an exam, right? And you have 5 minutes left in the exam. And this in turn determines your entire grade for the semester, 100%, right? Do you go to the bathroom and fail the exam, or do you stay and shit your pants? And why?
I would likely stay and shit myself. And I think it's important to, understand why. And that is because I'm able to get myself to a point in the semester where I'm taking this said final or exam or whatever it may be that's worth so much of my grade that I'm confident in my ability to, um, face adversity head on. So shitting my pants for some people, that could be a no-no, and they're like, it doesn't really matter. It's just one grade. For me, it's my determination and, my passion for my studies, for my work, all these things that I've worked so hard for. If I, go dookie in my pants, I'll be, only upset for about 15 minutes, right? I got a pair of shorts in my backpack. I can switch in and out of them real quick after the exam. The most embarrassing part will be handing in my exam after I just shit myself and I leave a trail of the stinks behind me as I go up there to hand in my exam. But again, it's just something that I'm just going to have to go through. And it's going to make me a better person on the other end too. So yes, I would sit there, finish the exam whilst shitting my pants.
I really like how you related all three of your answers to failure. Um, because not being friends with LLSmoothBody in eighth grade, you know, is a huge failure on your part.
Right.
And I just think overall that's kind of your thing. Failure, you know.
For sure.
Failure.
Failure.
This position takes strategy. When you're playing hide and go seek in the dark, what strategy do you use? And what does it say about your personality?
Great question.
Thank you.
I think that hide and go seek in the dark is a game of chance, right? For some people. Okay. Keep that in mind. When I play hide and go seek in the dark, a lot of people like to go and they hide behind the television set. Some hide under a couch. Some hide under a coffee table or an end table or something like that. I think that it's important to, again, be adaptable, change your stance. I usually, and sometimes it's not true, but every once in a while, I like to, hide near where the seeker is coming in, right? So that way I can always be right near or right behind the person who's trying to seek me out. Okay. That takes a lot of stealth. Okay. I am basically a ninja. So I won't make too much noise. Also great whenever I'm holding the camera, uh, with the exception of a few grunts here and there. But it's important to stay on top of the task at hand. So I like to always stay one step ahead of the seeker by staying 2 or 3 steps behind them.
Great answer. That's all the questions I have. Thank you. We'll let you know next month, probably.
Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Do you have an email that I can reach you at?
No.
Okay.
I do have a fax number though.
Okay. What might that be?
467 712 92453.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can't wait to be in touch with you soon.
Way to go.
What'd you think?
Thought that was great.
I don't care what question you throw at me, bro. I'm gonna hammer that shit home. Like I'll take care of business. And if this were a real interview, I brought up like real shit that's happened in my life, I think I still could have pulled it off.
The only thing else is like the second question, you were like, yeah, as I mentioned before, life's about, facing adversity and facing failure and getting through it. And literally the entire first question, you mentioned failure once, and I just killed me. Shit made me laugh so hard.
Oh shit.
But you answered every question, which is fucking impressive.
Yeah, I'm kind of crazy like that.
Yeah.
I actually did take notes. I have like one bullet point right here. It says jizz bucket and take it home equals pay. And then your fax number as well.
Yeah, nice. Ugh, that was fun. Except for I need a
If
little bit more out of your questions.
I
It's a
thought
little
my questions were
disappointing.
pretty good. I thought they were all right. I really liked the last question. I just kind of butchered the delivery a little bit.
What was
Um,
your last question again?
it was something about ancient civilizations and how they need to, or something like that. And then I asked what it's like to carry yourself with the confidence of a
Better
much
looking
better
man.
looking man.
Yeah, I literally should have just answered like the better looking man part. I don't know why I said something about ancient civilization. Should have just ignored that. But
Right. But you were
hindsight,
nervous, you were on your toes, you really wanted that position. And I get it and I appreciate it.
I might be a little concussed. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe it's whiplash. We don't know.
I do think it's whiplash. Um, yeah, no, I got some work to do. But also, I've been in like two interviews, and like my heart wasn't in it because I kind of didn't want the job. Like I've done mock interviews before where I did okay, but I definitely, I don't know. I got to be interested. Weirdly enough.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple interviews in the past, 2 months. That's not anything like what those interviews look like. Actually,
I'm sure one of them's thrown like a weird ass question at you.
I've gotten like odd questions, but they weren't like, you're gonna get jizz in a bucket and that's gonna be your pay type weird. It was just like questions wasn't really expecting. But I mean, just kind of thinking on your toes and being prepared for anything is super helpful in that situation. So I mean, it comes and it goes. Like it's whatever.
Yeah. Oh lordy, 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 lordy.
But the enthusiasm has to be there for sure, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um,
I got something to say.
say something.
I see that you got that How I Met Your Mother poster behind you.
Yeah.
I am planning on DMing Neil Patrick Harris soon.
About what?
I have
To
a
come on the
strife with,
show.
with the show.
What's
That
your
would be
strife?
cool.
What's your strife with the show?
I really like that show, and we've probably talked about this before, but I've noticed a flaw, and I noticed it pretty early on. Like I've rewatched the show and like different episodes like a bunch of different times. What's your favorite episode of that show, by the way?
Um,
Or top
honestly,
three?
uh,
You can
pineapple
give me Mount
incident,
Rushmore.
perfect cocktail. Um, the taste of liberty, just because the international businessman on an international business meeting.
We are
um,
important international businessmen.
shit makes me crack up literally every time. And probably four, I would go with um honestly, rewatched it last night. Legend Daddy. It's probably the realest episode out of all of them.
What season
Barney,
is that?
it's like season six. It's kind of a diamond in the rough. Not really a funny episode.
Hmm.
It's where Neil Patrick Harris, Barney, gives his biggest and best monologue about like not growing up with a dad, And then at the end, he's like,
Yeah.
every kid needs a hoop. Tears. It's
Oh, that
just
is a good
really good
episode.
acting. It's a really good episode.
That
It's
is a
really
good
kind of
episode.
deep. Yeah. So, um, yeah, those were off the top of my head. Like I'd have to really look through because I'm sure there's one that would jump that one.
Yeah.
Um, but that's what I've been rewatching recently. So, and
I really like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, what's your strife with the show though?
Um. Well, I really like this show, right? And I think that this show is like one of the greatest ones with like long running jokes that last seasons at a time. One of the best tropes in all of television history. The slap bet, greatest thing ever. It's flawed.
Oh my god, are you talking about the original conception of it? Like why he gets the five slaps? Because I remember watching that episode, and there's definitely a problem with that. Because based on the rules, it was basically like this. So they bet each other, right? And then they find out that she gets married. So Marshall slaps Barney one time. And then turns out Marshall lied and that wasn't true. So Barney slaps Marshall twice. But then when they
I thought he
find
got
out,
3 slaps. I think he got 3 slaps.
he got two.
I don't know. I think it was 3.
I swear he got two. He got two.
All right.
And then when they find out that that wasn't true again, they give Barney 5 or 10 slaps based on the continuity or whatever. That's fucked up. How does it not just go up by 1 or even stay the same? Barney didn't do anything as bad. He slapped him twice, so he should get 2 slaps back. He shouldn't get 5.
I understand that. That's not where my problems come in, because like it offers the writers the ability to fall back on something, and they can just throw a slap episode in here or there. My issue is that something I've tried to look into and see if anyone else has ever noticed this. I looked it up on Reddit earlier today. I've talked to other people about it. No one knows what I'm talking about, and I'm really hoping that you do.
Okay.
Season 5, episode 12.
Yeah.
Okay, it's right after Slapsgiving 2, I think. Revenge of the Slap. Girls versus Suits.
Oh, very familiar with the episode.
Great episode. So you know how, Barney's trying to get with the hot bartender, and the hot bartender's like, oh, I hate guys in suits. So Barney, dresses down. He's not in suits for that episode. Also, there's only a handful of times where he's not wearing a suit. It's like 8 or 9, maybe 12. Besides the point. Barney, they're all in the bar, and Marshall's sitting there wearing a suit, and he's having a conversation. He's talking, and Barney's sitting at like the cap of the table, so like the end seat in his own chair, and he's going through suit withdrawal, and he like goes up and puts his face all over like Marshall's suit, right?
Yeah.
Marshall slaps him in the face because he says Barney, because he's in the middle of talking, and then he just looks down. And he's like Barney, and then he smacks him and says Barney. That's a slap. Okay, rewatch the episode. Look into it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me it's not a slap. You can't, because it is. I have beef with it. So I wanted to bring it to Neil Patrick Harris's attention, just in case, we're looking for 6 seasons in a movie type beat, and they want to recreate a movie. That is something that they could bring up and just shout out Lil Doop for. Just be like, yo, Lil Doop. You know what I'm saying?
So my assumption would be, unless this is like the coolest guy ever, he would look at that and be like, this kid's got way too much fucking time on his hands.
Yeah. But still, like, I mean, the second time I watched the episode, I was like, wait, that's a slap. Because, and like, the thing that bothers me about it is, how did no one that was in the studio be like, hey, he can't do that?
You can't slap him, because that would be a slap.
And like, I get it. It's hard to pay attention to all the minuscule details, but like, whenever it's such a prominent thing, they just did a slap episode 3 episodes before 4, whatever it was. They just did a slap episode. They have to have it on their minds at all time.
Actually, the way they shoot, though, they don't do like episode by episode by episode by episode. They'll do them out of order based on what sets they have available that day, things like that.
Still, it's the same season.
Same season, I know. But yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. I have to rewatch the episode and get back to you on that. Big fan of the show. I wonder how, I mean, I'm sure you could do the math. Be like, how many slaps did he have at that point? Was he actually out of slaps during the last season? He had no slaps left.
He was.
You know what I mean?
Because that was an extra slap.
But Barney didn't say anything.
And that was my other beef with it, because they had the opportunity to seize that moment. So one, he got that extra slap out of the way, because it wasn't like an actual, like, get the fuck off of me type of thing. It was just like a friendly, like, poop, like, wake up. And
then
Barney
that's probably why they didn't count
it. Up. But it's still a slap. By the definition of a slap, it's still a slap. He still slapped him in the face.
No, I agree if you're looking at it from like a legal perspective, but I feel like there's got to be a wind up and things like that. But
something to think about is all I'm saying. Something I have thought about for sure.
Like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Can you tell people about your empathy for Lily? See, because everyone else is like a Lily hater, and you're a little more empathetic.
I don't love Lily. I think I could go on for like hours about this show. Marshall's character, Jason Segel, got kind of dicked over because he didn't have enough room to, play around. And that's something that I think you told me.
Yes.
Because he's kind of just like locked into a mold, which sucks because he doesn't have the ability to flirt with his, comedic side that much as like Ted, Robin, even Lily, and then obviously Barney as well. Um, but I understand what Lily was saying in the first season. And if you haven't seen the show, I'm sorry. But whenever she was like, yeah, I gotta go like do my own thing and figure it out. I get it. I think her execution was piss poor. Because I don't understand why they have to break up if she's going away for 3 months.
Going, yeah, but I think, honest to God, if you were in that situation, I actually didn't even think it was about the art fellowship. I think it was about, I got to go see what I can do outside of whatever relationship.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it from an actual perspective, if you're with somebody for 8 years and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to San Francisco, there would be a big problem if you didn't communicate that or things like that. Because
No,
like
I get it.
like Ted says, there's a lot of art fellowships in New York. It's one of the it's the art capital of the universe. So why didn't you apply to one of those?
I understand, but I also understand the argument that I need to be able to, if I'm going to move forward with this relationship, I know it's been 9 years. You probably should like be comfortable with who you are and where you're at right now. But I can appreciate the sentiment of being like, I want to be able to be, um, know myself as a completely independent person before I can, be a dependent for you because I need to know what I'm capable of before I can give it all to you. Again, I think your execution was piss poor, but that's I mean, that's the beauty of television.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
Um,
get it. I understand.
I think that we have the opportunity to do something here, and we have about a minute left on Zoom. But if you would like to continue this conversation, we can have the continued extended episode on Spotify exclusively.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta redeem myself for I gotta redeem myself a little bit for some of those mock interview answers and
Yeah.
talking how I met your mother's right in my wheelhouse. So
So just
let's
kind
keep
of
it
like wrap up
rolling.
the episode, be like, if you want to see the
Oh,
rest of it or listen to the
I
rest,
got it. I got.
but you got to do it quick. We got less than a minute.
Hey guys, this has been part one of the LLSmoothBody podcast, episode 21. Me and Little Doop just killed some mock interviews. You guys can go listen to that. You can also listen to this next episode, also on Spotify. This one won't have the video, but you can also probably watch it on YouTube too without any video. Love you guys. See you guys on the next podcast. Stay squeaking, Miss Kling. And don't be a ringer, Ringo Stars, George Springer.